Man, are you lucky? Are you lucky?
All right, so here's the thing. Okay, I'm playing Hart in fantasy football this week. Yes, he's a Redskins fan.
Yes, sir.
And Adam Schefter announced on Saturday night, he goes, I think Fournette's going to play. So I benched Adrian Peterson. And I took my. Now he's up like 30 on me.
He should have woke up early. The game was at 10 o'clock. He should have woke up at 9:30, made sure his roster was set,
right,
and then kept it moving.
See,
but
Josh,
no, he didn't do
it's
it.
a job, man.
Exactly. You got to do these things. I'm a GM.
And you drop the ball.
Oh, yeah. I have a solid team. My team is solid.
You might be able to hold it, but the problem is Allison.
Yeah.
Allison's won 2 years in a row, and her team. Josh seems undefeated, but Allison's is undefeated.
Yeah, Allison won the last 2 years in a row, and somehow got the first.
Allison
she had the first pick this year too.
So we need to team up together, Josh, because the one thing that cannot happen is we cannot let Nance win the league. Nance's team is 3-0 now.
He's an out-of-towner.
Right.
Exactly.
And he will never let us forget it. Him and Randall, we let them stay in the league because they were grandfathered in, even though they don't play for the Lakers anymore.
Right.
I don't care who wins the league as long as it's not Nance or Randall.
No, they can't do that.
I will trade you at the end of the year. I will trade you my best players.
Give me all the guys. Give me all the guys. I'm gonna need
the old combos.
So, of all the people out here, and Josh Hart is joining us, and there's Born Ready already taking pics over there. Josh, you had the best summer. You were the MVP of the Las Vegas Summer League. There was a chance that they weren't going to let you play a lot. They changed their minds and let you play. Why do you think you had the success you did in the Summer League?
Because the time I worked in before, the preparation for everything that I did up to that moment. I think that was the biggest thing. I worked out with my assignment for, hours, a day. Working on my dribble, working on my ability to shoot off the shot, off the dribble.
Lakers assistant coach Miles Simon, who was a great player in college.
Sorry about that. Be able to create for myself and others. So all that preparation I had, working out with him, I really wanted to go into Summer League as a kind of a testing experiment and see where, I measured up. And, that's kind of why I wanted to play. I wanted to compete the whole time because, as a basketball player, you play, you work out going one-on-one versus guys. I worked out with Kuz a lot in the summer, but, you want to compete and you want to play, ball. And that's, something I wanted to do.
So did you have the option about whether or not to go to Summer League?
I had the option to, play a game or so in each.
Right. And Luke told me a story that you talked him out of it, right? They were thinking about letting you play 1 or 2 games and coming home, and you said, I'd rather play?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have played every game. That's something I didn't play the second half of the second game and sack in the third game. And the only reason why I didn't play then is because I actually tweaked my ankle the first game. I was doing a back cut, and Mo Wagner threw a terrible pass. I stepped on De'Aaron Fox's ankle, so I tried to play the next day. That first half, I just couldn't move, and I was just like, I got to take a couple days off of this one. And then I got to Vegas, and I'm like, man, I want to go, and they let me, and they liked the fire that I had. They liked how I wanted to compete, and it worked out.
So what's it like here? I mean, LeBron James. What's it like to have LeBron James on your team? Yeah. He was the tall guy.
Yeah, I think I saw him around a couple times this summer. But nah, I mean, it's the energy, the buzz around this team, this city, just in general is amazing. And we have high expectations for this year. We want to make a deep run. And when you have the best player in the world, soon up with you, anything's possible.
Josh Hart joining us. One of the things I was talking to Luke about this. One of the things I hope doesn't change is that the young guys on this team last year were really vocal.
Yeah, I talked about that.
Okay, so LeBron is obviously the leader of the team. Mm-hmm. Is there still room for you guys to still kind of exert your influence?
Oh, definitely, and that's something I've always kind of worried about that a little bit. Not in of us being complacent, not in the sense of skill wise and getting in work.
Right, but you have to defer a little to the best player in the world.
Exactly, but it's more so in us growing in ourselves and into a leadership role, and that's something that I didn't want us to get complacent in, or just kind of stop just because we got great vets. We got Braun, we got Rondo, Lance, Easy, JaVale. Guys that have won championships, guys that have been through every possible situation they can in this league. So obviously we got to defer to them a great deal, and we got to learn from them and be sponges and soak up all the knowledge that they're giving us. But we can't be quiet. We got to make sure we hold each other accountable. We got to be vocal, and we got to grow ourselves. We can't just say, okay, guys, we got these vets here now, and then it's like, all right. Next year going in, it's going to be the same, buzz with free agency and doing all that kind of thing. And we're like, we didn't grow that much in the leadership role this past year. So that's something we got to make sure we hold each other accountable on.
From talking with Luke, it sounds like you guys are going to compete every day.
Oh, definitely. And that's the culture we were trying to build. That's something that we took great steps in last year. It's just competing every day. We didn't just have off days. We had full blown practices, and we were competing. There was trash talk. There was all that kind of thing. So that's something that we want this, be a part of this culture. And that's something that, especially now, we got vets, we got competitive guys. We have, these dogs. There's going to be a lot of that this season.
Josh Hart with us. Last year, I said several times during the games that you were, if not our best on-ball defender, certainly, in our top two. Is Stevenson in your class defensively? Is he one of those guys?
Oh, I think he is. I think he got a little more shenanigans to his game than I did. No, definitely. I mean, Casey is a great defender.
Right.
You got Lance. We bring now in who has that toughness, that grit, that dog mentality. Myself. We got
LeBron's actually a great defender. He doesn't get credit for it.
He doesn't, but what he can do, he can put out fires.
I saw him lock up Derrick Rose when Rose was the MVP for 5 games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got a different kind of defensive makeup this year, and I think we can be a top 5, if not top 3, defensive team in this season.
Is that where you guys can improve the most when I compare this team to last year's team? Is that the defense has got to get better?
Yeah. Even last year, I think we obviously I wasn't here 2 years ago. I think we were
you guys jumped about 14 spots.
They were like 30, and then we went to I don't know, we were in top 15, I think.
Right.
I think we ended. But I think even from there now, we laid that foundation with the young guys, with Kyle Kuzma, with Brandon Ingram, and you saw those guys who were a little bit shaky.
Yeah, Kuz was a different guy at the end of the year.
Kuz couldn't guard his own shadow if he tried at the beginning of the year. But you saw, his mindset change and how he was bought into, on the defensive end. So you see that Lonzo, who was bought in and got a lot better on the defensive end at the end of the year. So we had that foundation with our young guys mixed with the defensive presence of Braun, Lance, JaVale,
Rondo's got quick hands,
so we mixed that foundation with seasoned veterans who can, obviously teach us, certain things, but who are great defenders in their own. So we're going to be, a good defensive team.
Expectations for this year? What makes a good year?
It's not just about making the playoffs. We want to make a run. We want to compete for championships here in LA. We don't get hyped about playoffs, and that's what we want to do. We want to win it all. Every going into every season, that's what you want to do. So obviously that's the goal, and now it's just about the preparation to reach that goal. Obviously there's great teams. You have Golden State, who won throughout the last 4. You have Houston, who's tough. You got Toronto over in the East, Boston, Philly. We got great teams. But we got to start building that foundation, starting that preparation tomorrow. It started in the summer, but just, making sure, fine-tuning things tomorrow, when the training camp officially starts. And, just making sure we keep building all the way till, the end of the season, wherever that is.
For those of you who don't know, Josh was at the beginning of building Villanova's dominance, which they're now the best program in college basketball, but Josh was on the first championship team. Actually, you got to go to the game last year when they won it again. The name you hear all the time as the guy who all these NBA teams want is your college coach, Jay Wright. Mm-hmm. I'm curious. What do you want for him? Do you want him to go to the NBA?
No, he better keep his butt in Nah, we talked about it this all season. Just the interest he was getting and what did I think about it and stuff like that. But what he's meant to Villanova there, just the school in general has been monumental. And the greatest thing I like about him so much, obviously he's a good coach, but he gets the best out of his players, and he wants at the end of the day that his players are better people than they are basketball players.
I'll give you an example of that. When we had him on one day, and I said, so you're the guy we have to thank for turning Josh Hart into a shooter. And he corrected me, and he said, Josh Hart turned Josh Hart into a shooter. He goes, when we got him, he said he had it in him, but he talked about your work ethic. He deferred and gave you all the credit, and I think he's good at that.
No, he is. He's amazing at that, and he changes so many young men's lives going into his program. The high character high character culture that he instills in his program and everybody that's around it. You go there for not even a year or 4 years, you're going to gain knowledge. You're going to be better than what you were before. So obviously the NBA is always a big goal. I know it was a point of interest for him, but he changes so many lives of just young men there.
You think he's where he's meant to be?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I hope he retires. Being a Villanova head coach. Hopefully winning a couple more national championships. Being bigger than basketball.
All right, let me ask you things to wrap up. The biggest difference between you coming into your second year compared to a year ago. What do you know now that you didn't know then? How hard? I can't say that. I'll say it for you. I thought you would go in this general area. It's hard to get calls when you're a rookie.
Oh my God, I got
and you got some of the worst calls I ever saw. I don't want to get you fined, but do you think that improves?
That's definitely going to improve. That's definitely going to improve.
Because I think the refs won't admit it, but I actually think they're hard on the rooks.
Definitely. I had a lot of fouls. I know it's tough for me because I was playing James Harden. I was guarding Jimmy Butler. I was guarding DeMar DeRozan. I was guarding some of the best guys. So it was tough. But definitely going in. I think you get a little bit more love.
Right. Well, I also would argue that you're going to be smarter now too. I think that Kobe used to tell me that the more he got into the league, the more he learned what he could get away with.
Oh, definitely.
Which I think was a really good point.
Yeah, rookie year you don't really get away with anything. And then you just every year after that, you just keep learning about. Okay, I know. And it's like you really start thinking more. It's like, okay, I know officials are here, and here. So
you know where they are, right?
You know where they are. So it's like, okay, I know if I'm blocking the trailing, I can have my hand on
his hip. Use your right hand, but not your left.
Yeah, and they won't see that because there's just so much stuff going on. So you pick up a lot of things, especially with vets. They teach you a lot of these things. So. I think the refs will give a little bit more love.
So that's what different as a player. How are you different as a person than you were a year ago today?
I think last year it was a lot of uncertainty. I always thought I belonged here, but it was just kind of like, okay, it's weird because I'm very low key. I have a small friend group. I have like three best friends, and a brother. So it was just kind of like coming into LA, Hollywood. It was just weird and it was different. But I think I've really been more. I'm right now more confident in myself and just who I am as a human being. That I'm not caught up in the LA lifestyle. I go home and game and do all that kind of thing, and that's before it's like, I was gaming, I was a loser, and I was like, should I?
No, that's you're gaming.
Yeah, everyone made fun of me.
Aren't you like the world champion in Fortnite?
Yeah, but it's Fortnite. Everybody made fun of me for gaming, so I'm like, should I be out in the clubs doing all that? And I'm just like, you know what? I'm 23 years old, going on 24. Been here for a year. I'm like, I am who I am.
You can turn pro after your.
Hey man, exactly.
Could you give Ninja a game in Fortnite? You know who that is?
I know who it is, but he's in a. You ever see like LeBron versus a high school kid?
Yeah, that's what that would be.
That's exactly how that would be. So I would not challenge him. We're cool and we talk, but I'll play with him, but I'm not playing against him.
Have you ever played Ireland? Because he is a killer Fortnite player.
I've never played in my life, Josh. Never.
You don't want to. You don't want any of Ireland.
Cruz and Zoe play, right?
They tried and they were just trash. And I played with them a little bit, and I was just like, I can't.
Is there anyone on the team in your league?
Larry Nance was really good. But now, Now we got all these old dudes, man. All these old.
They don't know Fortnite.
Although I think I'm seriously think we're in Cleveland the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I honestly think we should take the team bus and just drive it to Nance's house.
Oh, I'll be there.
I just show up unannounced.
I was there.
Like 40 people. Let's go, man. Thanksgiving.
When was I there? I was there game 4. Game 4, and I was there.
You went back to see him?
Yeah, I saw him. Wanted to support him a little bit. Kind of wanted to see. I didn't watch any of the. I didn't really watch too many of the other playoff games just because I wanted to.
You want to be in them?
Yeah. So I watched that one. I went there just because I wanted to see how it felt.
Good for you.
A final game. So I did that. But yeah, the next game after, the next day after that, I was at his house till probably 1 or 2 o'clock, and we're over there just gaming. We all brought PS4s and all that. Even here, when he came to see us,
he had the game in tow.
He travels with his PS4.
We both traveled with it. But after he was trading, they came to play us. They played the Clippers and then us. So they had a day in between of just off day. I saw my social media. It was me, him, 2 other friends in my living room, 4 big flat screen TVs. Everyone has their own PS4.
Wow, the Fortnite Super Bowl.
Exactly. So Larry just got a nice little big house out there.
All right. So the bottom line is, if you're looking for Josh during the season, don't look in the clubs.
No.
Go online.
Chances
are you may
on
see him
Twitch.
there.
I'll be there.
Yeah. All right. Hey, great to have you back.
Thanks, Josh.
Congratulations on a great summer.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'll give you a better game next time. I won't forget to play Peterson.
I killed you. I beat you by like 40.
Yeah, but I got Roethlisberger going tonight. He might go off.
Oh, for what?
He's on the road. He never goes off on the road.
What?
Yeah, all right. Famous last word. All right, thanks, Josh. When we come back, we'll